So here's the thing. When we talk about the culture, one of the things that is really important for us on the right to understand is that the left is living in an entirely different country than we are. They're living in an entirely different imaginative space. You go to New York, you go to LA, you hear people talk about things that you cannot believe. And one of the reasons that I go to the New York Times is just, you suddenly realize the level of hysteria that they are dealing with. We're watching this presidency. It's got amusing things. It's got things we don't like. It sometimes goes too far to the left. Then suddenly something great will happen, like the Gorsuch appointment or the cutting of regulations or the support for pro-life causes and all this stuff. And we say, hey, that's great. And so it's up and down. It's black and white. It's gray. If you go over to the New York Times, you will see the kind of hysteria. That's why I like to visit what I call Knucklehead Row. And finally, we have got, what is the name of the listener who sent this in?
Let me look it up really fast.
All right. It's Joseph Quinlan. Is that it?
Yeah.
Joseph Quinlan. Joseph Quinlan was good enough. I kept saying we need a musical bumper to take us to Knucklehead Row. And he sent this one in. Here it is.
Oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, let's go waltzing down to Knucklehead Row.
I love it. Good job, Joe. Really, really good job. I just want to read to you what the one thing that is one piece on Knucklehead Row, the op-ed page of the New York Times. This past week proves that Trump is destroying our democracy. Okay, that's what it proves. Some guys got fired in the Oval Office, people you don't know, people who have no effect on your life. Some guys got fired. This past week proves that Trump is destroying our democracy by Yascha Mounk, a Harvard lecturer who has written a book with the perfect left-wing title. This is the perfect title for left-wingers: The People versus Democracy. In other words, we can have a democracy, but we just got to get rid of all those people. So Yascha Mounk writes, America is on its way to a full-blown constitutional crisis. This is what people who read the New York Times are waking up to every morning. Over just a few days last week, President Trump and his allies stepped up attacks on Robert Mueller, the special counsel investigating the campaign's connections to Russia. They tried to push Attorney General Jeff Sessions out of office. They thought out loud about whether the president can pardon himself. This all points to the same conclusion. Mr. Trump is willing to deal a major blow to the rule of law and the American Republic in order to end an independent investigation into his Russia ties. That's what it means. So forget the Constitution. Forget the fact that left-wing judges just say the Constitution means anything they want it to mean. We are in a constitutional crisis because Trump complained about Mueller and attacked the Attorney General, who he has the complete right to fire, works at his discretion. Paul Krugman, in his article, a guy who hasn't been right about anything in 50 years, his thing is called "Who Ate the Republicans' Brains?" So it's not even like being among adults. It's like being at this little girl's birthday party after a mouse got in and everybody's screaming and yelling. So this you have to understand, that the culture on the left and the atmosphere on the right are just two entirely different places.